get caught up in the crossfire. Yeah!
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to a very special start of summer edition of Retro Game Hall. My name is Jimbo from Retro Game Launch. You know the name of the channel because you're already here, but in case you didn't know who this gentleman is, System Syko.
How's it going, people?
We should call you like Summer Psycho.
Summer Psycho.
Since we're here, and
I'm decked out in the attire, dude. I'm ready for the occasion.
We're really white right now, bro.
It's no bullshit.
It is very hot outside where we are right now, and we're getting basically blasted by really hot studio lights. So it is. We start looking a little moist,
Sweaty.
a little sweaty.
Sweat lord.
It might be because of the games, but it might just be because it's fucking hot in here.
Yeah.
You know, it genuinely gets hot in this room, guys. It really does. We're on the 3rd floor, and it's like 100 degrees outside, literally. So AC's on full blast. We can't, unfortunately, turn the fan on because, well, that's all you would hear over us talking, and I think you probably want to hear us talk
about games.
Fucking sweaty-ass games.
Games, dude.
So, yeah, we got a lot, bro, between the two of us. We got Kart Love, we got Turbo Time, we got some Castlevania stuff, we got disc stuff, Saturn stuff, Super Nintendo stuff, some accessories,
Everything.
like just systems.
Diverse.
Yeah, it's mad sweaty, but I mean, it's like, you know what I really think about when I look at all this shit?
What?
John BASEDOW. So I thought we would kick things off the way we normally do, since we definitely got some Kart love here. A little more on my side than Miguel's side. I definitely got some freaking fat stacks here. I got kind of like stacks of carts like all at once, you know, either in like Craigslist or auction lots or whatever, just, you know, buying like a bunch of stuff just to get 1 or 2 games that I need, or sometimes a lot of games that I need. So yeah, I think it's time to get into some NES, bro.
Alright, I guess I'll start with the first NES game. I have 5 games here. They're all boxed, but the first one is City Connection.
Good game.
It is.
Jumping car.
I actually really like the cover to this.
It is kind of neat.
It is. To be honest with you, like this, I was trying to find the cheapest copy because I've always wanted this for my collection, but I didn't realize. I guess the pictures didn't really show it, but if I don't know if this awesome camera can check, but there's like a sweat stain right here, dude. It's like mad dirty.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like fucking.
Somebody was so hyped for that. They're like, "Oh my god!" When they're opening, it's like sweat pouring off them.
Yeah, you know, probably John BASEDOW, dude. But yeah, so the first game is City Connection. I think I got this for like $15, free shipping. So.
And it's by Jellico.
Jellico.
Yes.
Good company.
A lot of great games from that company.
That's the first one.
Yep. So, I got a... Wow, I sounded like Maxim Beatty there for a minute. That guy on YouTube. So I was like, "Sir." That guy's funny as shit.
Ever. Right.
Yeah. He's like, "When this guy slap you, you die." That guy's funny as shit. Okay, so I've got a pair of what I call red label NES games. You can see the little red banner across the top there.
What does that mean, bro?
Basically, what that means is that John BASEDOW approved it.
Alright, Jimbo, so what does that real mean?
What does that really mean? It basically means that it's late release for the NES. Like if you look at the systems that got released later on, the games, like the boxes, even the cartridges, towards the end of the NES life cycle when the Super NES was either out or kind of on the horizon, they kind of wanted to upgrade their brand visuals, I guess.
Yeah, okay,
their brand, put their brand out there a little bit, so the red banner kind of became a thing.
Okay.
So anything you see on that is definitely a little bit, probably in the early 90s of the NES, maybe like 89 or whatever. RoboCop 3, that movie came out in the early 90s, so this is probably like 92, 93, something like that, which the Super Nintendo was already out at that point.
Yeah.
So that was 1992, and Luminaire Boat Duel, probably about the same thing. Both these pretty uncommon, especially Luminaire Boat Duel. Not an expensive game. Like, it's not rare as in like super sweaty, I gotta have it kind of stuff, just one that you don't find a lot. Graphically pretty cool, you know, you can kind of play against your other dude and like jack them up in boats. RoboCop 3, it's about as good as the other 2 RoboCop games, which isn't very good, but and it's the worst RoboCop movie, so you know, what are you gonna do with that?
So one thing about Luminaire Boat Duel, so this is probably like one of my experiences or instances where I regret doing. So back in like...
You actually played it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
back in like 2010 when I first started my YouTube channel, like I'd go to the thrift store all the time and I'd find NES games all the time. So to me it was normal just to find games, and I figured, okay, I find whatever. So one of the first times I went to the thrift store, I found Eliminator Bolt Duel boxed, like sealed, for like $5 or something. But at the time I was like, oh, I looked at this game, I was like, screw this. So I didn't buy it. And then I just never ended up getting the game on my. Looking back, like I said, I didn't buy every game that I saw, so.
I did.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
that was the experience. So that's my experience with Eliminator Bolt Duel. Unfortunately, I did not buy it. So.
That's sad.
I think I still have yet to get that in my collection.
It's the loose cart is not that much. I think I got it for $10. And it came with a sleeve, so not that bad. Like box,
Okay.
That's anything red label, the box price is gonna go way up.
Oh, okay.
So done fucked up, man.
Yeah, I fucked up. It's all good though. John BASEDOW, I don't care though.
So,
all right.
what else you got?
Okay, the second NES game I picked up was Techno Cop. Oh yeah, Red Label, yeah.
Late release.
So the thing about this, so I actually had this game for years. I found the cart in the thrift store, and like me being sweaty, I needed like the box, and I just could not find the box by itself forever. So finally, somebody on eBay posted the box for sale, but I think it was like a promotion box because it had this Nintendo sticker on it, and it wasn't a box that the game came in. So it was like $20 just for the box. Usually this box goes for like 60 or 70. So I ended up just buying it, and then the guy shipped it, and what happened, you know how the NES box games come with like a little block, a little styrofoam block? Mm-hmm. The styrofoam block in this promotional box was like the whole box. It was like the size of the whole box. So what I had to do was, when I got it, I had to like chip at it to break it up. And then I had to like break pieces, and I finally took it out, and then I just put my game in it, and it also has a sticker too, right here. I don't know what that means, man.
Inventory number or something.
Yeah, probably, but this box really isn't a retail box. But honestly, dude, I don't give a fuck. It is the box. It's the exact.
Could it have been a rental box?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there might be some Nintendo experts or concierge that know about this shit. But yeah, they're more than mad sweaty than me. But yeah, so that's my second game. So I'm glad I finally got the box out the way. So now this one's so good.
I can tell you who could tell us about that box.
Ooh.
John BASEDOW. So, I got a quartet of NES games. That means there's 4 of them.
Yeah, nice.
Just in case you didn't know that. So, we got a little cornucopia of mixed stuff in here. Elevator Action, not an uncommon game, but 5-screw version. So, it's an original release, one of the early NES games. This one, man, I gotta tell you, this is one of the few examples, in my opinion, where the Game Boy version is superior to the NES version, in my opinion.
Is it supposed to be the exact same game?
I mean, it's called Elevator Action, and they definitely play the same. It's the same concept and everything like that. It's just the Game Boy game. The music is better. The play control is better. It plays a little bit faster. The graphics, even though it's Game Boy, in my opinion, are better. The guns are a little bit better. I mean, just everything about it is better than the NES version. I don't really like the NES version that much. I mean, it's okay. But by the time, if you play the Game Boy version, that's probably my favorite Game Boy game ever. Like, I played the fuck out of that when I was a kid. That's the only example I think I can think of where the Game Boy game is honestly superior to the NES version.
Isn't there a sequel to the Elevator Action?
There is. Elevator Action Returns. It's on the Taito PlayStation compilation.
Okay.
That's the only reason that I bought that, because it's co-op and everything.
Yeah.
And it's all fucking animate out and
that's
Japanese
pretty tight,
and shit.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very cool.
That's just tight.
So we've got WCW World Championship Wrestling.
That game is. I fucking love that game.
Fucking Legion of Doom on the cover.
That's probably my favorite wrestling game for the NES.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I love pro wrestling, and I'm not really into the WWF games.
But you like WCW?
But yeah, that one's real tight, because when you pick them up, they start blinking like. You like shock them, you like slam them and shit.
Is Ric Flair in the game?
I can't remember, dude.
I mean, he's part of WCW.
It's been a minute since I played it, but I remember like me and my friend playing that game.
He better be, because I'm going to be disappointed. Because if I can't say, like, this game costs more than your house, like, if I can't say that, like, Ric Flair style, like, dude, you can be lit, I can be lit, but we will never be Ric Flair level lit.
I follow his ass on Facebook.
He's amazing, dude.
Yeah. He's funny as hell.
Yes.
Wait, so
Okay.
is this game, is it expensive?
No,
Oh.
it's just an uncommon one.
Okay.
It's just like kind of one of the off the cuff wrestling games.
Yeah.
Kid Cool, which isn't really that cool. I don't know why there's a just to remind rewind sticker on the back of a cartridge. It's like somebody's fucking mom put that on, like, don't forget to rewind the cartridge before you return it to Blockbuster, honey. But that's okay. I actually don't mind stickers like this because it means it's out there and it's lived a life, man. It was at a rental store.
Part of history.
Yeah, it is. It's all good. And lastly, we got a gold cartridge, which means we've got a save option on this. Deja Vu. One of the, I think there's, 3 games like this? It's like this, what is it, Shadow, or The Uninvited and like Shadowgate, and they're all like kind of text-based, like, like point-and-click RPG type stuff, like story type of shit. So this is one of them. Definitely one of the unusual ones.
Nice.
So,
Like,
top that. What's next, mi amigo?
alright, so the next game is actually a repro. It is the PAL version of Ghostbusters 2.
Now that's sweaty.
It is, so...
Repro. Damn.
Us here in the States, we ended up getting 2 Ghostbusters games. The first one was just garbage.
Horrible.
And the second one was it's a little better than the first, I believe, but it's still fucking trash. This is the PAL one. This is the one where it's like, the graphics is kind of like top down, but it's more like, it's just a lot more fun. The characters look like little chibi anime characters. And it's kind of like, what do you call those games? Where it's just like the top down and you just like go
It's
around.
like River City Ransom.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
Almost,
it's kind of like
but
that.
that's the side scroll.
But it's just, it's a lot more fun, dude. It looks a lot better. This is a game that we should have gotten here in the States. I actually don't collect like actual PAL cards, and I don't want to pay like the whatever going rate is it for this game. So I ended up just getting just a cheap repro copy, and the card is actually like lime green too, which is pretty
nice.
cool.
And it works on an American NES.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I actually had to buy the card separate, and then I had to get the box separate as well. So I just needed it, mad sweaty. Had to get like
Sweaty.
a complete, looking version of it. So
On a fake game, you had to get a fake box.
dog, you know what's up.
That's
dude.
when you're sweaty. Bro.
Yeah, I had to put that shit on my shelf. I can't do that loose shit, man. You know what's up.
It raises the value like a nickel. But that's all right.
Yeah.
So I got a pair of uncommons, dude, that are not only uncommon, they are both legitimately good games.
Okay.
Like, that isn't always the case. Like, uncommon doesn't always mean synonymous.
Yeah.
Because a lot of really common games, like Contra, Super Mario Bros. 3 and stuff, those are great games.
Yeah.
Most of the uncommons, hit or miss, but this is 2 examples where both of them are legitimately good games. We'll talk about Vice Project Doom first. Yeah, man, I mean, it's from the Sammy Corporation, not exactly like a AAA publisher or anything. It's not a Capcom or Konami, but this is a really good game, dude.
Yeah.
It's like an action-y, kind of shoot-em-up-y, almost a
Side-scroller.
little bit of Metal Gear thrown in there, that kind of stuff. It's a pretty freaking sweet game, actually.
Is this Sammy? Is this the same Sammy that's still alive today?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
As far as I know. I mean, they've probably been acquired by somebody,
Okay.
but as far as I know, it's still the same company. So they made arcade games and all kinds of shit, but didn't exactly have a ton of hits on the NES. But this one, a lot of people really like this one. This is an uncommon one that definitely has
That's
kind
like
of a
an
cult following.
underrated gem.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the next one we got, I mean, the first game, the first Batman from Sunsoft was fucking excellent. And this one, I've only played this a little bit, but I'm told the overall game, this is even better. Sunsoft, they're to me like the third pillar of the NES third-party, like AAA support next to Konami and Capcom.
Okay.
Sunsoft had a really good record of making good games, dude. I mean, Spy Hunter, Blaster Master, the Batman games, like you just kind of go down the list, they made some really good shit. So this is no exception. Again, this is one a lot of people want because it's a direct sequel to the NES Batman game, even though it doesn't follow the movie, obviously, since the Joker dies in that movie. But the music in this is fucking amazing. I've used it here on the show. You're probably listening to it right now, knowing me editing. So this is definitely one you want to pick up.
That's I actually own this game, and I remember playing it, and I noticed that Batman is a lot bigger. He's like giant, and then the colors. There's a lot more colors in this game, and then they have like, what do you call that? Where the background kind of moves along. It's like parallax.
Parallax or
I think
scrolling.
so. I think that's it. But I remember playing this game thinking that this could probably pass for a Super Nintendo game.
Think so?
Almost. I think so, just a little bit. You still know it's an NES game, but compared to the first Batman game, this game is like, the graphics are like,
It's definitely a step up.
yeah, definitely. So that I could see why people are paying big bucks to play this game.
It's a good game. Like, it's one of the hardest things for them to do back in the NES era, just because of the limitations of the color palette, was to make something dark because you can't make it black. because if they make it black, you can't see it.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of make it like an off black, like Blackman kind of has like a purple, almost bluish hue. So it's really difficult to do that. Like it's really easy to do it these days, and a lot of people wonder why didn't they just make it black? But then the color palette on a modern game right now is like literally millions of times bigger than what's on this. You know, like 7 or 8 million colors, and this is like probably 500.
Yeah.
You know, or something like that. They're very, very limited, but considering their limitations, man, they definitely did an amazing job. That's when ingenuity and creativity and artistry was the forefront, because these guys have really had to think outside the box to make a playable game. So, Batman: Return of the Joker.
Cool. All right, what is this? The fourth game I got.
You need to turn the fan on for this one, bro.
This is
I'm sweating.
Miracle Piano for the NES. So if you collectors out there know, Miracle Piano did not come in a box like this. So what I did is I ended up just buying the card. I don't have the keyboard or whatever, and then
you literally can't play this without the keyboard, right? It's basically
really?
impossible.
That's fine.
I mean, how would you play it?
I wasn't even planning on playing this shit. Maybe, but I had to get a box for it because I got to put it on my shelf. So I think the box ended up costing more than the game.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, so that's like real funny. But I think it's pretty cool, man. Like
it's a nice looking box.
I'm very consistent with what I buy, so I want to make sure everything is like what do you call it? Like very orderly and stuff. So yeah, Miracle Piano. I don't
Organized.
Exactly. I don't got much else to say about this. So there you go.
I mean, what else is there to say about it? It's a fucking game that teaches you to play piano. I'm gonna say that I'm honestly disappointed that you don't have the fucking keyboard.
Yeah,
because that would be sweaty.
That shit is way big.
I mean, it's this, like an old school Yamaha style keyboard, which is enormous. It's just one of those things where you can't play that game without it.
I bet I know who can. John BASEDOW.
Alright, bro. I'm gonna one-up your sweatiness, man. So, I ain't got no fancy fucking Repro Sweat Lord Sweaty McSweat Muffin box, but I got me a fat fucking stack of NES games.
Nice.
And there's some good stuff in here, bro.
Right,
pretty much all but one of these are really uncommon, so we'll get the common one out of the way first. Just a spare Super Mario Bros. 3, just working on a box copy, basically. The rest of these, all pretty uncommon. Magician from Taxan, which is apparently from Motion Video in, my home state, Winchester, Virginia. How about that?
That's cool.
Gold label, so it's got a save.
What kind of game is that? I've never even played.
Glad you asked. I fired it up to check it out. Looks like King's Quest.
Oh.
So it's like a old school PC RPG.
Really?
Like very, very story based.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. We got a wrestling game. We got King of the Ring, which is actually a really good game.
Is it?
Yes.
I think this one's the most expensive WWF game for the NES.
It is.
I remember when I had the game for years, but I needed to buy the box, and the box was like expensive as fuck. I'm like, why, dude? So that's how I know.
This is one of the most uncommon ones.
Okay.
It's from LJN, but it's actually a decent game. Like, as far as like the action in the ring, it's almost like a beat 'em up.
Is it?
Like it's like a lot of beat 'em up shit. The way it plays. It's very, very different from the other WWF games. Plus, you got Lex Luger in this one, bro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All American.
And who is that? Oh, Razor Ramon's in that. Fuck yeah, dude.
Razor's Edge is in it.
Hey, yo. Say hello to the back guy, huh? Fucking sweaty goddamn Puerto Rican.
Oh, his hair
or
was
Cuban.
sweaty.
What is he, Cuban or Puerto Rican?
He was supposed to be Cuban.
Okay, well,
I think
fucking
so, yeah.
sweaty Cuban.
He's supposed to be like Miami.
Fucking Miami.
Yeah, and I think Scott Hall's just straight white, isn't he?
Yes. His name's Scott Hall. That's like the most non-Latin name I've ever heard.
No bullshit.
Alright, then we got Isolated Warrior, which is actually a really neat game. It's, I would call it's somewhere between run and gun and shooter.
Really?
Kind of like Gunsmoke. Like, it's not top-down, though. It's kind of that fucking, the isometric view, where it's over the shoulder, and you're kind of, like, on the scrolling plane, and you're shooting stuff, so it's kind of an action-y stuff. It's actually a pretty neat game.
I'm gonna have to pick that up, too.
Yeah. Next up, we got Wolverine from LJN, which looks familiar to me. Looks like another game.
Oh, yeah.
Game would be.
So this game plays exactly like Wolverine stage in Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade Revenge, where he's, like, really tiny, and then you can, like, pull out his claws, but then you like lose energy or something.
Yeah, so that's you losing energy on a guy with a healing factor.
Yeah, and the thing that's like, the only in my opinion redeeming factor of this game is the cover, which is based off of one of the issues, the early like 90s issues. I don't know, gosh, it's either issue like 11 or 25 or some shit.
That looks like some Jim Lee shit right there.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Next we got, in addition to the Black Box collection for me, Wild Gunman, just been putting this one off. Unfortunately, not a 5-screw, but that's okay. So just another one step closer. Then we got a Jalico game, Rampart.
What kind of game is that?
Real-time strategy. It's like the board game.
I don't like real-time.
I don't like it either, but it was cheap and it was in a bundle. So I'm okay with that. And Jalico typically makes good games, so
cool.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, so
wait, I'm gonna guess it's in a box.
of course, dude.
Okay, it's in a box.
Super Spike V-Ball World Cup.
That's funny, Miguel. I don't remember that coming with a box.
It didn't. This is a repro box. So I'm guessing this combo cart only came packaged in NES.
Yes, it only came with the sports system.
Okay. So
as far as I know.
I actually got the cart from you. You actually gave me this cart. I must have done a favor for you. And
You did.
Okay, so then I was able to pick a cart.
We should tell them what it is now, because they're gonna feel like, what, do you fucking blow them or something?
What was the favor? Which one was it?
You picked up a PVM for me.
Oh, okay, it was
a Sony PVM set.
Yeah,
I was just like, I just let him pick from my spares, and that was one of them.
Yeah, so
Of course, he picked the most unusual one.
So he gave me the cart, and so obviously I can't just have a loose cart in my collection. So I went to go buy the box, and it came with a lot of sweat.
Yes, like he opened it and like there was like water leaking out of the box.
Yeah, dude. So
So
I'm mad sweaty for the boxes, but now it's complete. So I am done. This is off the list, just to fill the gaps in my collection.
So I thought we'd move on to Super NES.
Okay.
I mean, my pickups aren't all boxed and presentable or anything like that.
All right.
But they're sweat free, so I can be okay with that. So we'll start with one that I definitely should have cleaned before I put it on camera here. It came pretty unpresentable. It's just some kind of gunk on there I need to scrub up. But it's Tough Enough from Jalico, which was their only fighting game.
Yeah.
Like a versus fighting game. And Jalico, famous for the Rushing Beat series. My personal favorite beat 'em up series on the Super Nintendo. Love them. Love that series. And just figured, why have this be the only one that I don't have on the Super Nintendo? I pretty much have everything else they put out. Yeah. So
I like the soundtrack to that game too.
there's
one
Jalico
song.
game.
There's one song in that game that I really like.
Pretty much all their games had pretty killer soundtracks, especially in the 16-bit era. They were pretty good stuff. So, are you tough enough, punk?
All right, so I have a couple of boxing Super NES games.
Just a few.
So I'll just show. I guess the first two I'll show is just they're just not that big of a deal. California Games 2, and then I got Choplifter 3, which actually is a really good game.
I like Choplifter series.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not really much to say about these two games except the fact
Look at those hot chicks on the cover.
I'm not gonna lie, that one blonde chick, she has an iron body.
She does.
She got
the wetsuit chick ain't too bad either.
Yeah, so yeah, these are, I guess, out of all the Super NES games that I picked up this summer, these two are probably like more of the lower tier kind.
And they're boxed. Do they have the menus?
No. Maybe.
See, it was gonna be sweaty, but I was just like, no. You don't have the manual.
A lot of these do not have the manual.
Fucking charlatan.
I know. It's all good though.
If you're gonna be sweaty, dude, don't half-ass it. Like, go full sweat. Fucking horrible. So, as previously seen on our Retro Game Haul, Killer Cuts CD and the Killer Instinct box/manual, I believe. And, well, the only thing I was missing was the cart. So I went ahead and fixed that.
So you got the whole thing all separate.
Backwards.
Wow.
Like, it usually starts with the game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I went backwards on that. I mean, because this is the easiest part to get. There's like a million Killer Instinct parts out there.
That game is real common.
I got the hard stuff first. So, as far as we know, the only black cartridge produced for the Super Nintendo, I can't think of another one. I mean, the Doom was red. Mm-hmm. That's a standout one.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it, bro. Like, there wasn't really a lot of color on the Super NES, so... Yeah, it looks all freaking sinister. Like, ooh, yeah.
I mean, the game is
Killer Instinct. Even on the Super Nintendo, man, this was actually a pretty good port.
Yeah.
Even though this was supposed to be an N64 port, but then the N64 got delayed, and they're like, we gotta get this fucking game out. So they kind of rushed it and put it on the Super Nintendo. Mm-hmm. But obviously, the N64 version, Killer Instinct Gold, head and shoulders above this. That game is fucking excellent. Because it was basically like souped up Killer Instinct 2. But this is not a bad port. All things considered, considering the limitations of the Super Nintendo, I played the fuck out of this game and I loved it.
Yeah, that theme song too is fucking great. The way it starts. Yeah.
That's probably my favorite theme song to any fighting game ever.
Dude, I want them to play that shit when they're lowering my grave, dude. Like my my fucking casket, dude. They play that.
I'm okay with that. That was, you know what, speaking of Killer Instinct, that was my one disappointment with the new Killer Instinct game on Xbox One, was the new theme is kind of like the original one. Like, it has the same general feel, but they strayed a little too far away from it. They made it gave it almost like a techno. I'm sorry, am I boring you, sir?
Nah, it's fucking. I'm just tired.
No, it's they almost gave it like a techno feel instead of just doing like a straight metal feel. Like, for anyone on YouTube who follows E-Rock, the guy who covers all those freaking amazing video game songs, his version of it I think was fucking way better than theirs, and he's just one guy. You know, I thought he killed it. So I digress. Killer Instinct. Okay. I'm gonna guess it's a superhero game.
Yeah, of course. Honestly, like, superhero games are probably like the only licensed kind of games I like to purchase. So
Marvel Software.
Yeah,
there was such a thing.
I guess so.
Very brief. Marvel Software.
This is Spider-Man based off of the Fox Kids TV show. LJN made this. I think this one's co-op as well. This one is kind of like, or no, this one's Separation Anxiety. This one's co-op.
Carnage.
Yeah, exactly. This is just like Maximum Carnage. So I had, I just had to, again, I had both. I actually had the boxes and I didn't have the games, so I bought the games finally. And then this one has a sticker in the back. What is this?
Video games, etc. Dubuque, Iowa.
Dubuque, Iowa, dude.
I love stickers like that.
Yeah,
just seeing where things came from.
So yeah, there you go. 2 Spider-Man games finally completed.
Alright, so it's weird. One of them's LJN and one of them is Acclaim. That's strange.
Yeah.
Different publisher.
Yeah. That's why the games are so vastly different.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Cool.
Next up, we got kind of the odd duck cousin of the Super Smash TV series, basically, from Midway. We got Total Carnage.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the third game, almost, based on what I'm told and based on what I'm seeing. Like, Smash TV, then Super Smash TV, then basically this. Where it kind of, I mean, it's a co-op fucking, twin stick kind of shootery kind of thing, multi-directional and crap. And it's from Midway, who made the Smash TV series, so I'm okay with that. I actually like that series.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to checking this one out, actually.
It's pretty good. Like, when you first start it up, you hear a guy go, what is it? Was it Maximum Carnage? No, Total. Yeah, he goes like, Total Carnage, and you see like the white dude, like, he's all like fucking giant on the screen. It's just tight.
And previously was an arcade game, so this is a port. Not that that's a big shocker because Midway. They made a lot of arcade games.
It's a good game. So
good port.
I'd recommend it. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Okay. Thank you for that.
All right, so the next 2 games that I'm gonna show, these 2 Super NES games, I would say.
We're gonna talk about that. Sorry, you'll see it in a second.
So these 2 games.
I know about this.
These games, honestly, these are probably games that will probably make you grow chest hair. So the first one is Weapon Lord.
And we want to point out,
Expand.
This is the only game ever released with this logo, where it was optimized for Expand. The only one. There were other games you could play on it, but that's the only one that was like they built it from the ground up to play on Expand.
And
which works now, by the way.
I heard the way to do moves in this game is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's fucking weird. Yeah. And then my box actually has this Blockbuster sticker. I guess it was $17.
Yeah.
I didn't pay that shit though.
That must have been the N64 era where they were selling off their Super NES slot.
Yeah. And then the other game I got is Doom Troopers.
That's a good one, dude.
This one was a little bit more expensive. This game kind of has graphics kind of like Donkey Kong Country. I don't know what you call that.
The rendered kind of shit.
Yeah. There's another. What is this? The Video Adventure Inc. Oh, it's the same place, Iowa.
It's from Dubuque, Iowa?
Yeah, Dubuque,
Wow,
Iowa.
You got 2 different games from the same rental place? Were they from the same guy?
I don't know. I guess I got the box. I must have gotten the box separate, yeah.
That's been weird.
So, got those 2. I'm glad I got this one out the way because that one was a little expensive, so. 2 more really manly games. I'm sure John BASEDOW would approve.
I think you would. So, this one definitely falls into the category of games that are typically turning out bad. That would be games based on movies, / franchises. Those don't really have a great track record. Yeah. There are a few exceptions, but I don't know because I've never played this one. Warlock, which I actually like that movie.
I've never seen it.
There's a series of movies. The first one in particular is actually really good. It's just about this fucking witch hunter dude who like hunts these dudes down.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like weird putting out like a kids game from LJN that's based on like an R-rated movie.
Interesting.
Where a kid gets like boiled alive and the fucking warlock like eats his fat for power. Yeah, I mean they don't show it or anything, but they show like the fucking fat boiling afterwards. I'm like, wow, that's fucking dark. So beware the ultimate evil of the warlock.
These next 4 games that I have, they're all reproduction games. They're not games that came out here in the US. So, and they're all boxed. I had to get them all boxed. So the first one is Rendering Ranger. This, again, was only a Super Famicom game. Only came out in Japan, I believe.
What kind of game is it?
It's like, what is it, like Super Turrican? So what do you call it?
Oh, so side-scrolling shooter?
Yeah, side-scrolling shooter, like
Nice.
a running gun.
Sure.
It's really dope. The Super Famicom game is super expensive.
Is it?
It's one of the rarest Super Famicom games. But of course, I like my games to all look the same. So this is more of like the North American looking version. So I don't collect Super Famicom games, so I just decided to get the repro of it. The next game is actually pretty cool. It's Iron Commando. This is a pretty cool beat 'em up that only came out for the Super Famicom. It's pretty cool because you get like shotguns all the time. You just blow the shit out of people, and it's crazy. It's tight, dude. There's this level where you're like on a minecart, like kind of like Temple of Doom and shit.
Nice.
So
we have to play that one.
Yeah, this
sometime,
one's good, dude. It's co-op too, which is pretty cool.
Fuck yeah.
There are some beat 'em ups that aren't co-op for some reason, but this one's
just
definitely
so dumb.
that one's a good one. The next one is Secret of Mana 2. I got this before they announced the whole thing that came out. What is it, E3 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Trials of Mana and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted a physical copy. So this is a translated version, and so obviously I got the box. Because I have the original for Super Nintendo, so I wanted to get like the translated version of Part 2. I hear Part 2 is probably just as good. And this game is co-op.
Text heavy too, so
yeah,
you kind of have to have it translated.
And then the last game I got, so I recently beat Chrono Trigger with one of my good friends. He loves Chrono Trigger, so I pretty much just watched him play it. He came to my house and played it. We actually played on the Super Nintendo and everything. And then he told me about this one game. He's like, yeah, Radical Dreamers. I'm like, what the hell is that? Basically, this is like this is the sequel to Chrono Trigger, but it's a completely different type of game.
Whoa.
It's all text-based. It's just, you just read shit, and you just like select like the answer you want to pick, and then depending on what you select, the story goes from there. It changes the story. But this was translated. This was only for Super Famicom, but I think it was like online. I think it was like something like that. But again, it was translated, so I wanted a copy of it. I thought this was kind of a cool little novelty that had like this weird text Super Nintendo game. So
That's very swag.
yeah, this is really swag. So I got the box. Sweat Lord, that's it.
Mad swag. Okay, so my final SNES pickup, James Bond Jr. The cartridge is in there. This is one of those examples where it was a dual release both on the Super Nintendo and on the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo game definitely significantly cheaper than the NES version. The loose cart on this is probably like $6 or $7,
Okay.
and the NES cart by itself is like $30. So they're very different games though.
Oh, okay.
Like they're kind of similar. Like it's kind of like a adventure-y kind of platformy with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But the Super Nintendo definitely seems to be the better of the two games. Like this is like part shooter, part adventure game.
So I played this game. I actually, my friend had this game. He lived across the street, and we played this game all the time. He had it as a kid, and this game, every level is completely different. It's like,
yeah, it seems that way.
it has so much.
There's like shooter levels, there's adventure levels.
I remember this one time when we were playing it as a kid. I remember it was raining outside, so we ended up just going inside his house playing this game, and we got to this boat level, which is fucking hard as shit. Dude, play the boat level on this game. Fuck this game, dude. That game, dog. This game is
Really?
hard as shit. Yeah, I think the only way we beat this game was with a code just to like go to the last level. But
Wow.
this game is hard. It's hard as shit.
Yeah, it mentions the speedboat on here.
Oh, does it?
Fuck the speedboat.
Yeah, dude.
So-
this game is hard as balls.
The copy I got did not have the manual, so I actually got that piecemeal just to complete it. I got it for an extra $5 or something like that because piecemeal, yeah, separately.
Yeah.
So figured, why go through all that trouble when the manual's only a few dollars? Why not have it complete? And hopefully I'll be able to get the NES version, just to have them both.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice just to play both of the games, but I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I actually remember watching the cartoon show. I'll tell you what I remember is the fucking theme.
Yeah.
Because it's like a James Bond theme, just with lyrics.
James Bond.
He learned the game from his uncle James. You know, that's just yeah. I mean, they definitely did a good job of making like the intro and everything. It's basically a James Bond song with lyrics. So,
he actually looks like normal human looking Captain Planet, because he got the same mullet, he got the same hairstyle, same face.
Dude, you know who he looks like? He looks like fucking Wheeler from Captain Planet. You know, he does.
Wheeler?
Yeah, he looks like
Wheeler.
Wheeler.
He does.
He's the fire ring guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he looks like Wheeler from
Same
Captain
animator,
Planet with the
that's
fucking
what
mullet, and
came out around the same time.
he's like James Bond without all the suave. But I mean, they still found a way to throw it in. You know, whenever he says his name, you know, it's like, who are you, Bond? James Bond, Junior. Even though he's not a junior, it's his uncle, not his dad. Like, you can't be a junior unless it's your fucking parents.
Yeah.
That's just such a cheat. But I mean, they couldn't justify like James Bond as a kid. You know, that would never happen, because then he'd be like, wow, he's like the worst father ever because he's never around.
Yeah.
So what's last for your Super NES, bro? I'm gonna guess something pretty sweaty.
This is actually probably this is one of the best repros I got. This is Super Back to the Future 2. This only came out for the Super Famicom, which I have no idea why. If anybody's seen the Angry Video Game Nerd video where he kind of, at the end of it, he kind of talked about this game. This game is pretty fucking cool. It's like a platformer. You're Marty McFly on his like hoverboard. And
where he talked about like, why can't they make a good Back to the Future game? And then he shows this and he's like, oh my god, they did.
Yeah, so this game is fucking awesome, dude. This is one of the reasons why I even bought the other repros. I was like, you know what, since I got this, I might as well get these other games. But yeah, dude, I love Back to the Future. It's probably one of my all-time favorite movies ever. So, and ever since I saw Angry Video Game Nerd do that video, I've always wanted to just get this game for the longest. And I've just been holding out. I was like, fuck it.
I need to do that myself at some point.
And then, you know, I mean, obviously I got the game separate and I got the box.
Because you have to have the box.
Because
like, it's a fake game in a faker box.
Yeah, but the box is actually pretty cool. I like the box.
It looks nice.
It's pretty sweet. So, you know, everything's got to look organized for the collection on the shelf. So,
of course.
Sweaty.
So that about wraps up part 1 of this special, extra sweaty start of summer haul. Very special thanks to my excellent co-host, System Syko, for stopping by.
I appreciate it.
We're not done, guys. Like, seriously, we're scratching the surface here. We got a whole lot more to show you in part 2. So when that video is up, you will see the link down there in the description box. And if you're subscribed, which you should be, please do. Mm-hmm. And if you like this video, mash the like button, please. Let us know. Let us know what some of your summer pickups were. Did you pick up anything rare? Anything you've been putting off for a little while, like we have? Which is, you know, we're kind of sort of in our twilight years of collecting here, so we're just kind of picking up the stuff that we never got to.
Yeah.
Like we're kind of just adding the final pieces to our master puzzle and shit.
Yep.
We got a whole lot more coming in part 2, man. We got Turbo Time, we got accessories, we got disc games, we got even sweatier shit.
Yeah, you definitely gotta check out part 2. There's gonna be a sweaty fucking sweat lord
storm.
Yeah, there's gonna be a Sweat Lord edition at the end of it. You gotta check out the games we got. So
you're gonna look like you spent an hour with John BASEDOW.
It's gonna be
like you're gonna be that sweaty when you finish. You're like, Jesus Christ, dude! Yep. Oh my God! Like Fitness Made Simple ain't no simple joke. No, Fitness Made Simple is legit.
Dog.
So
abs all day.
Yes. So check out part 2. Click that link. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.